Samantala, food security, climate change at maging ng ibang source ng enerhiya at iba pang issue tinalakay sa pagbisita ng European envoy kay President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Eden Santos sa detalye.
Naging makabuluhan ang courtesy call ng ilang European envoys kay President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Ito'y matapos na malugod na tinanggap ni PBBM sa kanyang headquarters ang mga ambasador mula sa Spain, Morocco at Germany. Tumutok sa issue ng seguridad sa pagkain, climate change, renewable energy at iba pang mahalagang usapin ang pagbisita kay PBBM ni na Ambassador of Spain to the Philippines, Jorge Moragas, Morocco Ambassador Mohamed Rida El Fessi at German Ambassador Anka Reifenstuhl. Bukod sa pagpapaganda ng kooperasyon sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at Germany, ay ibinahagi rin ni Reifenstuhl ang napag-usapan nila ni PBBM ukol sa climate change. Sinabi nito kay PBBM ang ukol sa 25 million euro donation para sa climate change-related projects sa Pilipinas.
We exchanged about the ongoing bilateral cooperation and the cooperation in the international frame, in the multilateral formats, and explored and discussed potential for furthering cooperation in bilateral mutual interest, but also to address global challenges like climate change. I informed President-elect Marcos about the ongoing programs Germany is currently conducting in the Philippines in the framework of of Germany's international climate initiative to address the impact of climate change here in the Philippines. I informed him that so far Germany has provided 25 million euro for climate change-related projects in bilateral projects, and that the Philippines is also engaged in regional projects with additional funding on top of these 25 million euro, and that we are currently working on another big program also in the context of climate change.
Maging ang food security na isa sa prioridad ng BBM administration ay natalakay din ng dalawa sa harap pa rin ng patuloy na tensyon sa pagitan ng Russia at Ukraine. Nabanggit ng ambassador kay PBBM ang napipintong International Ministry Conference on Global Food Security na gaganapin sa kanilang bansa.
We also exchanged about the priority of President-elect Marcos with regard to food security, and I informed him about the upcoming international ministerial conference on global food security. This also against the background of the impact of the Russian war against Ukraine with regard to the global food security and the challenges on global food security. We also discussed about trade relations, Germany being the largest trade and business partner among the EU member states.
Bukod sa climate change at food security, ay tinalakay din ni na PBBM at Reifenstuhl ang issue sa renewable energy, human rights, maritime at iba pa.
We discussed the renewable energy sectors, where Germany is having a very strong expertise and engagement. I also underlined the importance Germany attaches to rule of law and safeguarding human rights, and assured him of our continued commitment in this regard. In this context, I also mentioned the German support, contribution and funding of the United Nations Joint Program on Human Rights here in the Philippines. We discussed, and I informed President-elect Marcos on Germany's Indo-Pacific policy guidelines that provide a huge pool of opportunities to cooperate in bilateral, regional and international issues and challenges, and assured him of Germany's commitment to further engage in the region in our common interest to protect the international rules-based order, which also comprises cooperation in the area of maritime security. In this regard, I brought to his attention our cooperation with the Philippine Coast Guard. Last but not least, I updated President-elect Marcos on the most recent bilateral agreement representatives of the German and the Philippine government signed in Berlin just last Friday, an MOU on the deployment of Philippine healthcare workers to Germany.
Eden Santos para sa Mata ng Agila. Matatag, matapang,